Welcome for all in the fourth lecture of Energy Audit. Okay. In this lecture, we will talk about the detailed energy audit in Finland under the subtitle of Energy Audit for Buildings and Energy Audit Model in Finland and MOTIVA Energy Audit Procedure and Facility Management Tool Quality Control Toolbox in Finland. Okay, I would like to remark an important issue that the procedure of energy audit or the methodology maybe differs from country to country, from community to community, or even from person to person. So, in Finland, as example, governments subsidy the energy audits. So, and energy audits are carried in accordance with forms or government's regulations, and as we know, these regulations differs from country to country. In Finland, as example, the prevailing condition is the public building, and the energy auditing based on operational condition of the building, such as is the building satisfied the requirement of customer service, and also on technical condition, which include how much the degradation happening in the building, because the renovation cost of the building along the lifetime may be very costly. So it's very important to implement the energy auditing to see if it is economical issue or not, and also depend on economical condition that is based on life cycle procedure that is taking in consideration the maintenance and renovation cost into account. So the condition survey in this direction need special expertise and trained persons that have a certification for implementing energy auditing, and this is very important issue. In Finland, they have a program that contain some stages called Prita and PUBs, that is mean bringing innovation to application in public buildings, and they are implement this program in order to check the cost, the life cycle, the requirement for the building in all stages across the life cycle time. And also we will talk about the energy audit in building in Finland that represent as tool for long-term building renovation planning. This procedure of energy auditing very useful for preparing the planning of renovation, and also they use it as a measure of energy quality in order to issue the energy certificate and energy labeling for building that is based on audit reports. And also energy audit represent a tool as available for building sale, very important, which can used for building selling, and also in order to maintain energy efficiency of the building. While we are doing or implementing energy auditing, we will evaluate the state of the building and in order to keep or maintain the energy efficiency at high level or at high rate for the specified building, and also represent as economic indicator for the building renovation, and also as a tool in order to reduce the CO2 emissions, and finally in order to evaluate the profitability of energy saving opportunities and increases the service life of the building. So the energy editing is a very important tool in Finland for all these purposes. Okay. In Finland they have a model called energy edit model, and this model based on a procedure, and this procedure created by MOTIVA. MOTIVA is an organization that work under the Ministry of Trade Industry in Finland, and MOTIVA represent controls of the energy edits. And before implementing energy editing, they make a process of comparison by benchmarking study that they are carrying out in order to compare between the analysis targets and the benchmarking of the building. And this will be useful to prepare or provide evaluation report for energy use. And now we will see this model starting energy edit model starting with meeting with the client. What are the requirements of the client, and see what are the motivation of the client for energy editing, which include the client requirement by legislation and saving energy and saving money and other requirement as reduction of CO2 and so on. All of these requirements followed by the selecting of suitable type of energy edit for the client needs. As I explained before, there are 3 types of energy edit. So in this meeting they will decide what's the type of the client needs for implementation the energy editing type, and then they will after that they will setting the extent and the time frame. So here we'll prepare the scheduling time when the energy editing will start and how long time will take of the energy editing, and when the energy edit will finish. All of these requirements will be limited and agreed with between the client and the energy editors or the team of energy edit. Then we'll need from the owner in order to provide the data required. So owners data collection, and then they will be in agreement to limit the date of site visit and taking the technical data collection and after that the energy editor will make his effort in processing and analysis of the collected data, and finally prepare the proposal and analysis of energy saving measures or opportunities, and finally the compilation of energy edit report, or after the completion of all these stages or these steps of energy edit, the energy editors will provide for the client the final report about the procedure or the methodology of energy edit, and provide the opportunities of energy saving and energy consumption, and what requirements for new devices, new improvement, and so on, as we explained before. So this is represent the energy model in Finland. Okay. Now let us see energy edit procedure. The energy edit the procedure consists of some steps, as we see before. Begin with starting meeting. In the starting meeting between the energy editors plus the client or the personnel from the specified organization, here will make agreement on the details of identify their goals by the client and what they are need for the customer, and also putting the timeline or timetable, and also identify the contact persons and the required information, and also the client may be limited the way of movement inside the target buildings that energy editing will be implemented in it, and also maybe some limitation of the field work because there are some limitation about the safety, the dangerous, and so on. And also in this meeting or starting meeting or kick-off meeting, they will be identify all the needs for the energy editing and the procedure of the reporting or the preparing of the final report and its content. Okay. The second step of MOTIVA energy edit procedure is the collection of the initial data. Initial data will be collected as I said before start field work in order to create overall view of energy economy and what the probable saving objects, and also put the planning field work and the planning measurement. So they will put a plan for measurement and a plan for the working during the energy editing, and also they put the initial data which includes energy data and water consumptions, and this data in Finland must be for 3 to 5 years period previously. Also the energy editors need an initial data collection information about the design, the operation and maintenance records, and also review of previous studies and so on, and also if available energy editing processes at previous years. Now in the third stage is the field work and measurement. Here the energy editors make their measurement on the energy production systems, transfer and supply devices, heating processing, fuel consumption, electricity consumption, water consumption, and so on. And also they need and record all technical information and specification of different system and equipment within the field measurement. And also they study the possibilities in order to improve energy economy by different use and suggestion for repair for different equipment, or maybe suggest for purchasing a new equipment. And in order to identify the goals of energy use or water reduction, they make their suggestion in this field. And also they perform adequate measurement for energy saving potential and put their suggestion for opportunities of energy saving and so on. Also the field measurement include ambient indoor temperature, water flow, they record about ventilation system, heating system, air conditioning system, boiler units, lighting level in the buildings, by recording and using the instrument and devices for this purpose. And also they may study the ratio of nighttime and daytime of electricity use, because this issue required in their calculation, and also require the labor costs in order to include where calculation of the feasibility study in the audit report. And also they require the working days and the weekends of the time of the working inside the facility or the building. And the fourth step of MOTIVA Energy audit procedure is analyzation of saving potential. The energy auditors study the water and energy consumption according to each system, and they make their focusing on main system that consume large amount of electricity or water, and also focusing on biggest single consumers in order to ensure that the right savings in their calculation. And this analyzation based on initial data and different observations, different measurement, user interviews, also can analyze the level of energy use and determine the saving potential for the specified targets that agreed between the client and energy editors. And also they make their analysis about energy saving in order to achieve the need of the investment costs that will be calculated in their report. All the analysis must be realistic and valid measures that they will be prepared in their report for the customer in order to help the customer make the right decisions about the future investment or improvement, and that will be included in their planning. And as we said before, all these issues need continuous monitoring for the specified improvement. And also make after all of this analyzation, the energy editors make their suggestion that must cover all the client requirement or the organization requirement for indoor air quality and working environment, and so on. Also, in the fifth step, the energy editors provide a proposal for the actions that must be done by the organization, and these actions must be included in their report, such as and the report must be clearly results, and the client or the top management of the facility can understand in a clear way, and the proposed actions and saving potential presented in illustrated tables and figures in order to facilitate the understanding by the top management and the specified personnel from the facility or the building. And also included the required budget for the proposed actions that must be presented in the report, and also make their evaluation effects for energy, for water, and the cost savings, and also calculate the payback period or payback time for capital cost and expenditure cost for proposed or suggested actions. Also, energy editors make their conclusions based on their calculations tool that created by MOTIVA organization, and the procedure contains tables, figures, forms for energy edit, the implementation ways for the proposed actions, and so on.
Also, I would like to remark for the facility management tool and the quality control toolbox in Finland. As we see, there are 7 phases and we have different stages, and the red diamonds, as we see, 7 diamond represent the quality control toolbox concept as described in this explanation for each one. As we see, these phases start with establish goals and determine needs and set system requirement, implement goal and verify performance, and here manage indoor climate and energy consumption. All these stages will be in cooperation between the owners and users needs and their requirement and the specified company. As I see, this tools is very useful for construction companies in the field of building, and also useful for energy editors. Of course, here under this stage there is a determination of requirement and also applying the programming. Okay, and in this stage the control toolbox here to check owners' need and their requirement. Okay, and in the second step or second phase, design, which include sketches, solutions, permissions, and preparing the documents. Here the control toolbox for the specified personnels to check up design requirement and basis data. And also here in this stage the elaboration. Of course, these 3 control represent in the pre-design and design phase of the building, and in this stage and this stage represent the construction phase of the building. Here construction, and after construction we have testing and balancing and handling over. So this represents the construction phase of the building, and here operation and maintenance and also the control toolbox. After the building over from construction, it will be an operation case. So these 2, 6 and 7 control books represent the operation of the building. So there are different details about the using of these tools, but I see it is useful for different companies are interested in applying this procedure and this tool. So at the end of this lecture,
I would like to say thank you for listening and following me, and I hope we will meet you again in the lecture number 5, and goodbye.